As we start to dive a little bit deeper into photopea, I want to take a little bit of time today and actually just get familiar with the overall layout of things. It's actually really similar to Photoshop, but the icons might be slightly different and other things that might throw you off a little bit. So we need to just kind of figure out where all the tools are. So what you're going to do is, I think just doing a handwritten assignment is really the best way to do this. So what I want you to do is get a piece of paper, and I want you to basically draw out the overall layout of photopea. And we're going to start by really focusing on the left-hand side, the toolbar. So make yourself a little window, and I'm going to come in here inside the computer, but, also, label, file, edit, image, those sort of things. But what we really want to focus is on this side over here. And so what I want you to do is label both the picture of what it is that's showing automatically as like the default. And then the ones that have more than one tool, I want you to also list what those are. So you'll notice like this top one, if I don't know what that is, if I just wait for a second, just make sure I'm in the window. Here we go. Once I hover over it, it will tell me this is the move tool. And it also, if it has a keyboard shortcut in parentheses, it says V, right? So if I ever need to get to the move tool, I can just hit V on the keyboard. That'll give me the move tool and I can just start moving stuff. So we'll label that. But all of these ones that have these little like arrows down at the bottom corner, they have multiple tools, right? So in order to see those, I'm going to click one time. Sorry, I'm going to have to either, so I can either click on it like a double click, or the easiest way also is just like to do a 2-finger click. That'll always bring up like the right click option. So when I want to see these, if I want to see what the options are, it's got, 2 options in this case. So it's got either the rectangular select or the ellipse select. So those are my 2 options from this tool. The keyboard shortcut is M. So when you label it, because you don't want it to block this one, what I probably would do is like label it here and then draw it, and then draw the other one next to it, just so you kind of have like a long kind of table that comes out this way. And I think the most is usually 3. So, just save yourself enough space. But that way we know that this icon here, it breaks out and it has these couple of options. When we come down to the next one, which is the set of lassos, I've got 3 options: lasso, polygonal lasso, and magnetic lasso, right? So just label each of those so I know what's inside of those. And just go through them kind of systematically one by one and see what the different options are. And then label them so that you know where tools are. So if I say later, I want you to go into the brush tool, you'll know which one is the brush tool. You'll know that you're not in the pencil tool instead. Or if I say, oh, we're going to use the stamp tool, you'll know where to go for that, right? And again, if you hover over it, it tells you what it is. So if it's just got a single option, just hover. So lay out your paper, mark down all those things so that you have that toolbar over on the left. Then I think it'd be also a good idea to do the menus up here at the top. So those will go chronological. Just write down what's in underneath file, right? We've got things like new and open. Under edit, we've got things like copy, paste, transform. Under image, we've got things like canvas and image size and crop. Layers, we've got things like new, fill layers, vectors, rasters. Filters, we've got our whole filter gallery. So spend some time, go through those, write them down. I know it seems like repetitive work, but again, it's the way that our brain processes, right? So if we take the time and we really focus on something and we give ourselves that direct pathway, it'll be easier to recall. So when I say, we'll go up and do edit, transform, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And again, when you're in these menus, keep an eye out. Pay attention to what the keyboard shortcuts are, right? So on the Apple, this is the command key. On the PC, this would be control, right? Plus X, C, V. The up arrow is shift, right? So if I wanted to do copy merge, I could do shift command C. This little symbol here, the squiggly line one, that's the option key. So I could do option command T for free transform. Because this is a web browser, if I do command T, which would be the shortcut inside of Photoshop, it'll just make a new tab, which you may see me do accidentally from time to time. So option command and so on. So those sort of keyboard shortcuts and things are there for you. So pay attention as you're writing those down so you can keep an eye on those. so that you have easy access to them. And that'll help us at least get familiar, because the tools are the same. I mean, some things don't work exactly the same. It's not perfect, but it's free, and it's something we can all use even if we've got a Chromebook. So we're going to use it. So get used to it, and I will be working around whatever limitations it has so that we have a way to do whatever it is we need to do. All right, so looking forward to seeing that, get some familiarity in there, and then we'll start to look at how we can start to do some of our selection methods, and then also some retouching.